Hi, in my last video message, I was speaking about the latest experiences that I've had on Instagram. Meeting up a couple of girls. One was, Italian from England, and, how she engaged with me in conversation and eventually wanted me to open an online store like she did. And the way she had sounded in the message was like only had a certain amount of time before this would get done, and it seemed like this was a deal breaker if I didn't go through with what she had said. And I had said to them, you know what, we need to set up a foundation to get to know each other more. And we hadn't even chatted on the phone. We never video chatted. All I had was pictures. So it could have very easily have been a man that did this in order to scam somebody out of money. So when I said that I'm going to decline at this time and then we can pursue it later down the road after we meet, that was my assurance that I was going to be protected. Because if they're literally legit, then this would have happened. And so they had made it sound like, they didn't understand what was wrong with me, why I wanted to do this. You know, and it was like a total deal breaker with them that they didn't want to pursue me further and they didn't want to say anything further about it. And they never contacted me afterwards. So I deleted them. But I had noticed in my other the other half of the video I sent was about a ghosting experience. And I had stated how upsetting it was, in which it was. But then the tables were turned around on me. God brought it to mind. How many people did I ghost in the past? Whether it was being uncomfortable with them or something that they said to me that I didn't like. Could have been Bitcoin, telling me I need to invest, and all of a sudden I just stopped writing them, blocked them, and deleted them. That was my way of dealing with it, and it wasn't probably the best thing to do. But, not giving them closure or anything, leaving them hanging. And so all the times that I did it to them, I felt like it was done to me. And so the tables were turned. And one person in particular that I had, briefly chatted with on an Asian dating site when I was, going through different dating sites, there was one girl that I had wrote, and she was in Singapore, I believe. And, I didn't say nothing because I was on those chat sites because it's not realistic getting on chat sites and having a relationship with somebody that's abroad in a different country. It's not going to work unless you have the financial means of doing so. And so all I wrote, I was just on those sites, making friends, learning about culture. That was my heart. And so I wrote this girl and I said to her, because she had a picture of her parents. And I thought that was a sweet thing to do. You think a lot of your parents, you think of a lot of your family. And so I wrote her and I said to her, how very nice of you to have a picture of your parents. My name is Rob. And then automatically they started writing me and immediately professed their love. And the first thing that came to mind was everything that I had researched, everything that I looked up and what scammers do. And immediately they professed their love right away. So automatically, I was thinking this could have been a scammer. But this person had called me and we video chatted. And of course, at this time, I already learned about testing people on videos to see if they're legit and not a pre-recorded video. So I had them touch their head and they did it. And so that proved that they were legit, but the video was kind of weird. It was like they weren't looking at the camera. Maybe they were looking at, you know, their computer, but it didn't look like they were looking at me. So it did seem kind of off. But, just the red flag was how they professed their love right away. And I'm thinking to myself, who does that? Maybe it's different for the different cultures. I don't know. But that's not something that I would do right away. And so I I blocked this girl and I deleted her. And she was the first thing that came to mind when I felt like I was ghosted. And I was like, God had already told me don't go back onto dating sites, but I felt the need to go back and hopefully find her profile, write her, and apologize. To state I am so very sorry for what I did to you. It's not a good feeling to be ghosted, to left hanging. And so I went back on that dating site and I didn't see her profile, so she apparently took it off. So, I tried yesterday. I had her number and it was on the blocked list on WhatsApp. And I did see her number and stuff, but I didn't write it down. I thought there was a way I could have, you know, retrieved it and to write her, and somehow it was lost. So this is the person I left hanging, and she went through probably the turmoil that I had went through the other day. And so it's amazing how the tables can turn on us when we're upset about somebody, when we're upset about something and we're judging them, how God turns the tables back on us. In what way are we doing it? We have to look with the light of God on our hearts, showing us the areas in which we are not perfect. And so, if we see any flaws or anything, that we go to God, release it to him. Lord, help me to be better. So in my case, how many people did I judge in the past in which the tables were turned around on me, in which I shouldn't judge? I could think, oh, I'm so good and holy and all perfect and all that, which is a bunch of garbage. I am not perfect, because every day, through past hurts and issues, I see more of the areas that need to be given to God for me to be truly free. I'm so thankful for therapy to help me with that. But I just wanted to share it with you. You know, how often do we judge somebody or whatever it would be? But really, we have to ask ourselves, are we doing the same thing that we're upset with other people doing? I've seen that many times in my life. How many times did I get irritated with somebody not putting their turn signal on, letting me know what they're going to do? And how often did I do that to somebody else that was behind me? So it's just amazing how we can be. Jesus said, do not judge, for the measure you use will be measured to you. So God, help us not to judge. Help us to see how our choices are affecting other people. If we're so critical with somebody, are we doing the same thing? So I pray this video has helped you. Thank you for taking the time to watch.